Alright, I'm going to do a quick field simulated comparison test of the new field piece vacuum pump that we got. It is a 8 CFM, and I've got a 9 CFM Hillmore and a 7 CFM Bullet, a few popular ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the first pump on. We'll run the Hillmore first. It's got fresh oil in it. I'm going to turn it on and open the gas ballast for a few seconds. Let it kind of catch up. And then when I close the gas ballast, I'm going to hit the start timer. Let me see what I've got on there. I've got 3 minutes. So I'm going to run it 3 minutes, and we're going to look at the field piece gauge and the blue vac on top of the yellow cylinder. Now what I do in the field is I use a 4-port field piece S-Man. I open all 4 of these, completely open. I hook the pink jug up, of course, with the valve shut, and I evacuate the yellow hose, both of the hoses. This 50-pound or whatever size recovery jug this is simulating the coil and the line set. So let's see what we get with 3 minutes on each of these pumps and do a little comparison. All right, I'm going to let the camera see the field piece on 0, no microns showing up yet. I'll look at the blue vac. Now these are all open, and we're going to run this thing and see what we get. All right, so I'm going to open this gas ballast on the side, turn this on, let it start gaining a little bit of ground. I'm going to close the gas ballast and hit the start. I'm going to let that run to 3 minutes, and I'm going to show the camera to the 2 micron gauges, and we'll do the same thing with the Bullet and the field piece vacuum pumps, and we'll see what we get. The field piece is not yet in microns. And the blue vac will start pretty high on microns, but it's not yet showing any microns either. So we're getting close on the field piece where it will go to microns, but not yet. And almost 2 minutes have already elapsed. Now we do show on the blue vac gauge down around 1200. The field piece is still at 29.9 and has not yet activated its micron gauge sensor. Sorry, I think that was 12,000, not 1,200. We're now down to about 6,000, 6,100 microns on the blue vac. 56, 5,500. This usually comes on at about, there it's on now. It says 9,000, 8,000, 7,500. Well, we only got a few seconds left here. We're down to right at 30 seconds coming up here. So there's 30 seconds on the timer left. And we're at 4,500 microns on the field piece. 3,500 showing on the blue vac. Now I've noticed in the field when these get way down low, they get a lot closer together. So let's take a look. Okay, we're in the last of our timer here. Alright, that's been 3 minutes. And we're at 2,000 microns on the field piece. 26, it was right at 2,700 on the blue vac gauge. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to shut that down. And I'm going to go to the next pump. Alright, so I've got the Yellow Jacket bullet hooked up. And if this one has a gas ballast on it, I don't know about it. So we're going to cut this on, and everything is starting from ground zero. I'm going to give it about 3 or 4 seconds, and I'm going to hit the timer. Okay. There goes the 3-minute timer, and we're going to start looking at it and see what it's doing in comparison. Put the light on. I'm sure you can't see that far away on camera. That's why I'm walking the camera up to him. Both of these have got fresh oil in it. I did change the oil in both of these prior to this test. The field piece is new out of the box, and that one has yet to be put in the field. And our timer, for whatever reason, is going dim. Alright, we're under 2 minutes, and we have not yet lit up the micron gauge on the field piece, although over here that thing starts really high on microns, and the field piece really doesn't light up until I think it's 9,000, and then it jumps in 500 increments. And then once it gets down to about 2,000, I think then it starts actually numerically where you can read it. We're at 29.9 on the field piece. At about 7,400 microns. On the blue vac. So this should go to microns any minute now. Although we're down to 45 seconds left, and we still have not lit the micron gauge. There it goes. Now it's on 9,000, so let's start watching it all a little closer. Basically about 30 seconds left. Down to 6,500. That's great. Hopefully. Okay. So we're at the end here. Alright, there's our 3 minutes. And you can see that one just barely got close to 2,500. That one's at 2,900. So you can see that one did not quite perform, at least in the 3-minute time frame. Quite as good as the Hillmore did. So let's shut all this down. We're down to about 1800 on there now. And 2300. That's another thing I've noticed. They get real close together in the end when you're down in the 500 range. They get very close together. But along the way, they seem to be a good bit apart. The field piece is showing 1600 and some odd microns, and this one is showing 1900 and some odd. So I gotta feel like this being a little closer to the pump is probably why it's getting a more favorable reading. And this tank here, you know, that's at the end of the line. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and set up and do the field piece. Now what I didn't do before was let you hear it release. So I'm going to do that this time. And I don't know if you can hear it, but this tank is definitely making quite the air noise. And you know me, I'm all about authentication. I think that's the point of videos, really. Otherwise we'd just take a few still pictures and say, see, this is what we did. So the video is very authentic. Now I am going to open this port right here, which will fit the hose. One thing nice about this is people that do things a little different, those two are the same size, and you could actually hook up your two, you know, you watch the guy demonstrate this thing online with those blue hoses and those clamps and all, and he uses these two ports. Alright, so nonetheless, we're going to run this thing the same. Now I'm going to open the gas ballast. Little red light there when you open that. Now I'm going to turn this thing on. Let it run a little bit. I'm going to close the gas ballast and hit the 3-minute timer, and we're going to see what we get from the field piece. Keep in mind this one is brand new. Now you flip it on. There it goes. Just let it run a little bit. And just to be the same everywhere, I'm going to close that gas ballast. I'm going to start that 3-minute timer. And looks like we're not getting real bad vibration out of that, or it would shake that clock off. But let's see how long it takes it to reach what level in comparison. No microns yet anywhere. Field piece is not yet down to, there it goes, it's at 29.9, right about at 2 minutes. And it should light up the micron gauge here soon, at which point we'll start watching these a little closer. It's about the halfway point, 1.5 minutes. are showing a little under 9,000 microns over there, 81, 8200. Try to keep these lights on. Still have not yet hit the micron gauge on the field piece, which should happen any time now. Down under 1 minute. So let's start watching a little closer. Alright, we just went to microns on the field piece. It's at 9,000, 8,000, 7,500, 6,500. Got about 30 seconds left on the 3-minute timer. 5,500. So oh gosh, what did I do? Alright, we're winding down. Under 2 seconds, 1 second. Okay. So there's our 3 minutes. It was about at, I think, 2750 during the 3-minute period there. And this thing is now at, it just went down into 2600 and something. So none of these were extremely far apart, but make of it what you will. That was the 3-minute test on the 3 pumps. So I guess now that I think about it, I could have made a little room and done the JB. We've got a JB 6, a couple of those. I'll tell you what, those were real workhorses. They worked for a long time. That Hillmore has probably pulled maybe 100, maybe 90 to 100 vacuum in its life. This one we've vacuumed with it, bound to be 300 or more. And the field piece is new out of the box. So that's kind of what we wanted to look at. Down to about 1,400 over there and 1,600 over here. And I'm going to go ahead and let this field piece run a little bit. I have not yet taken this field piece recovery unit in the field yet, so we'll be doing that soon. And I doubt we can see these on video. You may be able to see the S-Man. It's at about 1,300. Getting close to dropping below that, 1,290. So this one's at about 1,300 now. I don't know if we can use the clock time on the video to see how long it takes this thing to do what. But there's a lot of impressive features about this field piece 8 CFM vacuum pump. It's a little bulky. It does have 2 tanks of oil. You can store a full tank and an empty tank, and then you can drain it while it's running. I don't know why you'd want to do that. I guess if you really got into a highly contaminated situation with a lot of moisture and you looked at your oil, which you can look at in this lit up window, and you can see if it gets cloudy. And I guess if there was a cloudy situation, you could quickly drain and refill the oil tank like they do on the actual field piece demo videos. Not sure I'll ever actually get to that point of doing that, but you could. And you see how close these are getting together. This one is at 1016, that one's at 1030. So once you get deeper and deeper into the vacuum, these do get closer together. You know, people can say what they want about the S-Man gauges and the accuracy of their vacuum sensors and whatever, the micron gauge. You can say what you want, but these S-Mans have done a lot for us. We've got quite a few of them up here. Here's the ones, looks like one of the red dots fell off, but the red dot means it's in for servicing and needs to just be flushed and gone through, the vacuum sensor cleaned, hoses fixed, whatever. I do not expect the guys in the field to figure out what's wrong. If something's not working, set it aside, put the new one in place, and keep the install going. Then bring me the, you know, stick a red dot on it and bring it in. And then when it's ready, I'll hang it up here and put a green dot on it, and they can take it back in the field. It's just how we do things. We're down to 870 microns there, 830 microns over here. So, like I was saying, they get really close together the deeper your vacuum gets. By the time we get to 500, they will be remarkably close. That one's at 840 and that one's at 797, 792. So, like I say, I gotta believe that's just the field piece S-Man is closer to the vacuum pump. I would imagine if I stuck a gauge right here, it would probably very quickly get ahead of the others. But and I do have a field piece vacuum gauge that I've used in here just for various stuff on the bench. I can't say that I've really thought a lot of that. I really think a lot of these blue vac gauges, and we use S-Mans religiously at this point and have for years now. And I've had them all, but I just keep going back to the S-Man. It's at about 760 and this one's at about 700. So, in light of not making this video extremely long, I'm going to go ahead and shut us down here at this point. The S-Man tends to bounce around a little is another thing I've seen when you touch it especially. So I turned on the light, but there it is at about 730. And the blue vac is at about 670, 665. So I think we've seen a little something out of these at this point at least. And this is what we do in the field. This is exactly how we do it. Obviously when we're finished, I will flip I will turn this valve off to get ready for startup. I'll turn the yellow valve off, open the tank, flip the tank, and then we'll close all the valves and start the machine up. Of course, we'll open the valves on the machine and let it sit a minute, and then we'll start it up, and then we'll immediately charge. And that's just the way that I've figured I could get the most pure system. And we all know how I don't believe in hooking an uncharged set of gauges to a system. I just don't believe in introducing oxygen and moisture to a system that we work so hard at keeping pure. So anyway, let's go ahead and shut it down. This one's right at about 600 even. This one's 670, 668.5. So I'm going to go ahead and shut these down And thanks for watching.